Calaroga Shark Media. Hello and welcome to Ghost. This episode is titled Spectral Love.
In a picturesque old town nestled beside a tranquil river, there stood a charming centuries-old inn known as the Riverside Retreat. The inn was renowned not only for its historical charm, but also for the romantic atmosphere it exuded. It was said that the inn was a place where love stories were born and cherished for generations. As Valentine's Day approached, the innkeepers, Mr. and Mrs. Harper, prepared for the annual celebration of love. They had long heard tales of a friendly ghost who frequented the inn, a spirit known as Catherine, who was said to have a profound connection to the holiday of love. Catherine's story was one of heartache and longing. In the 19th century, she had been a young woman deeply in love with a dashing poet named William. They had pledged their love for each other, carving their initials into the massive oak tree that stood in the inn's garden. Tragically, William had been called away to fight in a distant war, leaving Catherine behind. As the years passed without word of his return, Catherine's heart grew heavy with sorrow. She continued to visit the inn, hoping for news of her beloved, but he never returned. On one fateful Valentine's Day, Catherine's spirit made itself known to the innkeepers. Mr. and Mrs. Harper, the innkeepers, had just finished lighting a crackling fire in the hearth. The room was adorned with crimson roses and heart-shaped decorations, all in preparation for Valentine's Day. As the clock struck midnight, a soft, otherworldly glow began to emanate from the center of the room. The air seemed to shimmer with a gentle, iridescent light, and a hushed sense of anticipation settled over the innkeepers. And then, as if materializing from thin air, Catherine's spirit made herself known. She appeared as a gentle, ethereal figure, her form bathed in a soft, ethereal radiance. She wore a long, flowing white gown that seemed to shimmer with its own inner light. Her hair cascaded like a waterfall of moonlight, and her eyes sparkled with a serene and knowing warmth. Instead of causing fear or trepidation, Catherine's presence brought a comforting and heartwarming sensation to the inn. Mr. and Mrs. Harper watched in awe as the ghostly figure glided gracefully toward them, her footsteps making no sound on the wooden floor. Mrs. Harper whispered in wonder, "It's her, dear. Catherine." Mr. Harper nodded. "Indeed it is. She appears every Valentine's Day, bringing her timeless love and presence to our inn." Catherine's ethereal smile filled the room with a sense of tranquility and affection. She reached out her hand to Mrs. Harper, who accepted it with reverence. Catherine spoke. "Thank you for keeping my story alive, dear innkeepers. Love endures, and it is a gift that keeps on giving." Her voice was like a gentle breeze, carrying with it the essence of love and longing. Catherine's presence, far from unsettling, filled the inn with an aura of love and romance, reminding everyone that the spirit of love transcended even the boundaries of life and death. As Catherine's form continued to radiate its soft, comforting light, the innkeepers and the guests in the common room felt an overwhelming sense of warmth and affection. She was a timeless reminder that love knew no bounds, and her benevolent presence was a cherished part of the Riverside Retreat's history, especially on this magical Valentine's night. Catherine's ghost became a cherished part of the Riverside Retreat's history, and every Valentine's Day, her presence was felt more strongly than ever. She was said to be a matchmaker of sorts, guiding lost souls together in the name of love. On Valentine's Day at the Riverside Retreat, couples from near and far gathered to celebrate their love. The inn was adorned with crimson roses and heart-shaped decorations, and the air was filled with the sweet scent of love and romance. As the evening descended and the inn's guests gathered in the garden under the canopy of stars, a young couple named Emily and Daniel found themselves drawn to the massive oak tree. They traced the initials carved into its ancient bark, feeling the weight of a love that had endured through the ages. Emily said thoughtfully, "It's like a fairy tale, isn't it? The love story of Catherine and William." Daniel agreed. "It's beautiful, but also so bittersweet. To love someone so deeply and have to wait for them, not knowing if they'll ever return." As they spoke, the gentle breeze seemed to whisper secrets of love, and the moonlight cast a magical glow over the garden. In that moment, Catherine's presence became palpable. Catherine's ghost appeared beside the couple, her smile radiant with a kind and knowing warmth. She extended her hand, and Emily and Daniel took it, feeling an inexplicable connection. Catherine's ethereal voice filled the air. "Love knows no bounds, my dear ones. It transcends time and distance. Treasure the love you have and hold it close to your hearts." With her blessing, Emily and Daniel exchanged a tender kiss beneath the ancient oak tree, their love strengthened by the timeless spirit of Catherine. As they rejoined the other couples in the garden, they knew that their love was forever intertwined with the romantic history of the Riverside Retreat and the benevolent presence of Catherine, the ghostly matchmaker of Valentine's Day. Sarah and James were another young couple deeply in love. They had chosen the Riverside Retreat for its romantic reputation and the captivating tales of Catherine, the ghostly matchmaker. Under the starry sky, Sarah and James wandered through the garden, hand in hand. They marveled at the crimson roses and the ancient oak tree, its bark etched with initials that told the stories of love throughout the centuries. Sarah whispered, "Isn't this place just magical, Jim?" James smiled. "It truly is, my love. And to think that we get to be a part of its history." As they stood beneath the massive oak tree, a soft, otherworldly glow began to illuminate their surroundings. The moonlight seemed to dance with an ethereal radiance, and a gentle breeze whispered secrets of love. And then, as if responding to the lovers' whispered affections, Catherine's spirit made herself known once more. Sarah and James watched in awe as Catherine's form approached them, her eyes sparkling with a serene and knowing light. She extended her hand toward them, her touch as soft as a breeze. Catherine spoke, "Love is a journey, my dear ones. It is a force that transcends time and binds hearts together." Sarah and James exchanged a loving glance before taking Catherine's hand, feeling an inexplicable connection to the ethereal figure who had witnessed countless love stories within these hallowed grounds. "Cherish the love you have and let it guide you through life's journey. Love, my dear ones, is the most beautiful gift of all." With those words, Catherine's form seemed to glow even brighter, casting a radiant light that enveloped Sarah and James. The garden around them appeared to shimmer with an otherworldly grace. As Catherine's presence filled their hearts with a deep sense of love and understanding, Sarah and James shared a tender kiss beneath the ancient oak tree. Their love had been blessed by the timeless spirit of Catherine, the ghostly matchmaker of Valentine's Day, and they knew that their journey together would be filled with the magic of this enchanted night.
Ghost is a Calaroga Shark media production, written and hosted by Alexander Ian McIntyre, produced by Mark Francis, executive producers Mark Francis and John McDermott. Calaroga Shark Media.